All right, so this is Euro USD, and this is the weekly time frame. First thing we've done this last week is that was it last week we took out the external range liquidity. After taking out the external range liquidity on the weekly, there is this type of choppiness. The market is just chopping around up and down. There's no real direction in this market yet. But one thing we've noticed is that it has tapped inside a weekly fair value gap. Look at it here. It tapped inside this weekly fair value gap. And where after tapping inside the weekly fair value gap, where do you think the next point of interest should be? It's going to be taking out this external range liquidity. But the question is, how long can you wait for you to wait for all this choppiness and the market is going to deliver to this external range liquidity? That is why most times you have to work with the lower time frame if you are scalping. But at the same time, you have to understand the narrative and what is going on in the higher time frame. So right now, we understand the fact that weekly fair value gap has been tapped into. That is one. Secondly, this might be the next point of interest. We don't know. How far can it retrace? We don't know. Okay. So what? Okay. Before we move, I want you to mark out this daily fair value gap, this untested fair value gap in your own on your chart. So just name it daily fair value gap. It might not be today, it might not be this month, it might not be the upper month. We don't know. It might test it at any time. So let's work with the little detail that we have here and ignore all the external this thing. So first thing I want you to see, and which is clear, is this liquidity void. There's a difference between liquidity void and imbalance. This is a liquidity void. So LV, okay, liquidity void, and I found it where on the daily time frame. So you can denote it any with anything you want. You can write it in full. So and again, looking at this whole structure, we can see that we took out this high, this same market took out this low. So which signifies that there is no direction in this market. No matter how we take out an high and take out a low, where do you want us to go to next? We don't know. And in this type of case, we don't have to pick sides. All what you just have to look for is a very strong zone, strong zones that can support the price. Where's my first point of interest? This is the um daily liquidity void. And again, you have to mark out everything necessary. Look at this now. This is our previous day high. Previous day high. So I think this video is going to be long because there is no market direction. So just pay attention. After marking that out, what can I see again? This fair value gap has been tested. This but the high has not been taken out. The market is struggling to respect this fair value gap at the moment. But do we have to be bothered about it for now? No. What can I see in this market? This fair value gap too has also been tested. So basically, I don't see anything in the 4 hour time frame at the moment. So I can drop to the lower time frame, which is the 3 hour time frame. What can I see in this market? Um, Still absolutely nothing in a market like this. But we have the daily fair value gap here. Then okay, we don't really have anything much that we can actually work on. So and this is a previous day high. Okay, so we mark out. Let me go into another lower time frame, maybe like 2 hour now. I'm just trying to work with the little information we have here. Let me go into 1 hour fair value gap, 1 hour time frame. All right, so in the 4 hour time, in the 1 hour time frame, there is look at the new week opening gap. This is a new week opening gap. All right, so still on the 1 hour time frame, we have a new week opening gap here, and at the same time, if we look down here, we have an inversion fair value gap, 1 hour inversion fair value gap. So with the way this whole thing is, this is not a clear market structure. Let me first name 1 hour fair value, 1 hour inversion fair value gap. So this is not a clear market structure here. This whole thing, I there it has been tested, but when the new week opening gap came in, it tapped us. There is a news at the moment, so that is why we are approaching the new week, the previous day. That's why we are taking out the previous day. So back to the narrative now. Always mark out your new week opening gap. The new week opening gap can be broken down and be retested as a price support and deliver us to the 1 hour inversion fair value gap, or even to the sell side liquidity. We don't know that yet, but you just have to mark out all this zone. And once you mark out all your zone, you wait for price to come there. You might take a buy, you might take a short. And one thing I can see in this market is this whole thing. A price should not be this close. Look at all this. Look at all this. A price should not be this close. Why will a price deliver to down here, come back and test so close, then again down again so close? So this is building up liquidity. The market is just building liquidity here. So fast forward to 30 minutes time frame. Inside the daily liquidity void that we mark above, there is a fair value gap here again. There is 30 minutes fair value gap here. Okay. A lot of confluence is actually pointing a finger that yes, the price can come here and come and sell off. And if you look closely again, you will see an inversion fair value gap inside this same spot. And remember that where there is two or more PD array in a particular zone, it means that it is a very strong um, market. So at the moment, if I am to wait for price, if I'm patient enough to wait for price, what am I waiting for? I'm going to wait for the price to come inside this place, the daily liquidity void one, or the 30 minutes fair value gap two, somewhere here. Once we have it here, then I can look for a short. And where will my target be? My target will be the sell side. Okay, lest I forget, I think, oh yes, okay. So it's going to be this, the sell side here, because looking at the weekly time frame is bearish. Okay, so and again, for people that actually or are trying to catch a trade reversal, trying to get a buy on Monday now, what you should be looking out for should be any of these ones that I've marked out. I don't actually think the new week opening gap is going to hold. Why? With the fact that um when it gapped down, it's created so really like it's kind of so close. So if a price can break above like this and take it out with the week and give us an aggressive push down and leave us with a fair value gap, then you can take a shot to this place to the 1 hour fair value inversion fair value gap. So the market is all about narrative. If you understand your narrative, then yes, you can go on and do whatever you want to do and buy or sell. So and don't forget this is Euro USD.